Welcome to the Virtual College Exploration for All Missouri Students, sponsored by the Missouri Association for College Admission Counseling and Strive Scan. Thank you for joining us. A few announcements before we get started. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. Your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. This is just one of many different sessions happening, so be sure to check out the full schedule at moacac.org. This presentation is being recorded and will be available within about a week at the same website, moacac.org. I'd now like to turn it over to our presenters, Joel Johnson and Lizette Green from Valparaiso.
Good evening, everybody. Thanks for joining us today. My name is Joel Johnson, Valparaiso Admissions, and
my name is Lizette Green. I'm also one of the assistant directors at Valpo. I'm located down in Texas. But welcome. Thank you so much for joining us today. We're so excited to have you here. Today, we'll talk a little bit about what we have to offer at Valpo on our campus, some of the great opportunities for our students, and then we'll also talk at the end, towards the end, about our application process, financial aid, and ways that you could possibly see Valpo as your home.
And don't forget, if you have questions, please pop it in the chat. We'll definitely have some time at the end, but we want to collect some questions along the way as well. So again, thanks for coming out. So Valparaiso University, hopefully you've had a chance to visit our campus. If not, we definitely welcome you to come on out. I'll tell you a little bit about some of our visit opportunities in a moment, but the university itself is a semi-comprehensive, I would say, liberal arts university. We have a strong group of liberal arts programs with a number of professional track programs as well. Some of our top majors, no particular order, are actually engineering, nursing, biology, psychology, business, meteorology, and then we have a really fast growing physician's assistant program as well. And those are just a handful of the majors that you have to choose from. We have about 70 different majors in total. You see there on the screen when we were founded, so we're not a spring chicken at all. We've been around for over 100 years. And we are we're a smaller school, but we're 3,200 students strong, so we're not teeny tiny, which is great, but we're not overwhelmingly large where you feel like you'll get lost in the shuffle. You can definitely keep that very much a personal touch to the student experience at Valparaiso University. We are an independent Lutheran university, so that's part of our identity. But it's a type of experience where if you're a person that's looking for that faith aspect to your college experience, it's very much there for you. But if you're a person that you just want to go to college and you love it that there's that faith aspect there, and it'll be sitting there waiting for you. So it's not something that we really push upon our students at all, but it is part of our identity, and we definitely welcome students of all backgrounds to Valparaiso. So don't feel that you'll be swayed one way or the other, no matter where you're coming from. When you get to campus for a visit, and we hope again you'll either come out for a visit. We actually are hosting visits, believe it or not, even right now. You can go to our website, valpo.edu/visit, and you can see our visit options for independent visits right now. And we have what we're calling our Introduction of Valpo Day. It's like a mini open house we're doing actually this Saturday, and I think we're opening up another in October. So hopefully you'll get a chance to come check us out. And if you're either not able to get to campus or you're not comfortable traveling to campus yet, you can definitely check out our virtual visit opportunities. We have a student-led campus tour and some other great opportunities online. So please come out, check us out. And learn more about Valpo online and through today's presentation. So let's talk about the city of Valparaiso, where we're located.
Absolutely. So if you haven't had a chance to visit our lovely campus, Valparaiso University is located in Valparaiso, Indiana. So that is going to be about an hour outside of the Chicago area, also 20 minutes south of the Indiana Dunes. So you'll see that our students have great access to a major city in the US, but Valparaiso itself is going to be a community with about 33,000 residents. So it is going to be on the smaller side of the scale, but that can be a really great thing for our students because again, since we are so close to a major city, a lot of our students have those opportunities, or if they want to get away from being in a small area, they also have access to that. We have a train that actually goes from our downtown Valparaiso all the way to Chicago near the famous Bean, where you can get your great picture opportunity. But one of the great things about our community, and I would say Valparaiso, Indiana itself, is going to be the support that our students get from the residents. So even if our residents aren't Valpo alum, you see a lot of support in a lot of the different events that we have going on all year. We are about 10 to 15 minutes walking distance from our Central Park Plaza. which is a great area that we have events throughout the whole year. Our famous popcorn festival. So fun fact, Orville Redenbacher actually made Valparaiso, Indiana his home. So we have a popcorn festival, and this happens right before the start of the new school year. In the springtime, we have our farmers market, and in the winter, we have a nice ice skating rink down there. So if you're like me and you're not a huge fan of the cold weather, I think an ice skating rink can definitely make you feel a little bit happier to be able to enjoy that. But with all of our local transportation that we have, again, you have a lot of access to these different opportunities and experiences. You have a lot to do on campus, but we also want to remind our students that there's many ways for you to still also call Valparaiso, Indiana your home.
And so when you look at the Valparaiso University, I mentioned at the beginning, we have about 70 different majors, and those majors are actually broken up across our 5 academic colleges. So we have, of course, the College of Arts and Sciences is our biggest college overall. It really covers the slew of programs for sure. So the bulk of our programs you're going to be found there. But then we also have, in addition to College of Arts and Sciences, we have our College of Engineering, College of Nursing and Health Professions, and the College of Business. The 5th college is actually, it kind of overarches all of those. And the 5th college is actually Christ College, our honors college. It's actually the 3rd oldest honors college in the nation. And so it gives our students kind of that extra experience of, so we're already, like I said, at a smaller school. Our average class size is about 16 to 20. And the Christ College Honors College, that's class size actually gets a little bit smaller. The class experience changes a little bit. It becomes a little bit more discussion based, and you'll bring in some classics, and you'll have some experiences that are very unique just to that experience. And so no matter what major you're in, you may find yourself in the Honors College itself. And it is something that is an invitation only. So that when you apply, and we hope that you will, you'll actually, the Christ College has a number of the criteria they're looking for, and they'll send out invitations to students. And if you find you read up on Christ College, or you just decide the Honors College might be something right for you, just reach out to your admissions counselor. We can definitely help, get you connected with them so that they may send you an invitation for the opportunity as well. In addition to the different programs that we offer across the 5 colleges, something that's a little known fact about Valparaiso University, we actually have about 16 different early entry programs. So those will be what you call your 3+2s or your 4+1 programs. So that'll allow you to get a bachelor's degree and a master's degree in 5 years. And why is that beneficial to you? It can save you time and money. And those early entry programs actually go across all of the 4 academic colleges, but because, again, everyone's in Christ College, technically I could say all 5 colleges have some opportunity with those early entry programs. So I just want to let you know that you have some opportunities to really not just get your bachelor's degree at Valparaiso, but go beyond and consider some graduate opportunities as well. And we'll talk about some things to come when it comes to the graduate opportunity in a couple slides later, but I want to just let you know that you're going to have some opportunities. And if you're not certain what you want to major in, that's fine. We actually have what we call, instead of undecided, we call it exploratory. And so you can come into Valparaiso undecided or exploratory and kind of find your way. Take a few classes. You'll always be moving forward toward graduation. And even in some majors, engineering has a couple of introductory classes. I believe business has a few. So even if you say, maybe I know I want to be in the business, but I don't know which area, or I want to be an engineer, I don't know which discipline, you're going to find ways to come in undecided business, undecided engineering, and still get exposed to some other concepts there. And really, you're never really locked into any one major. So many of our students will actually double major, believe it or not. And some, I think every now and then you get a triple major, but definitely double major, a minor. So if you have multiple interests, know that at Valparaiso University, you will not be left in a box. You could be that student that's majoring in engineering, but heavily involved in our music program. And oh, by the way, you do the sportscast for VUTV on the side. So you definitely can explore all of the interests that are you when you're looking at Valparaiso University.
One thing that I also want to mention, as you'll see on this slide, is that Valpo has consistently been ranked as a best undergraduate teaching institution. So I think that speaks volume onto what our campus atmosphere is like, what our environment is, and the type of faculty and staff that we have on campus. You'll find that our staff and faculty are very supportive of our students. And since our classes are always taught by professors, never by graduate students, as a freshman, you'll be in a classroom with a professor, so not a graduate student, and you can start building those professional relationships right right away, so that maybe down the road, if you are thinking about taking another class with that same professor, or maybe your interest is undergraduate research, you have already established that relationship and you can start reaching out to them, or they start reaching out to you. And this can come very handy as well if you're ever thinking about additional opportunities off campus. So that brings us on to the next point. We have a lot of different opportunities for our students on campus outside of class. So obviously academics come first, but also the whole experience that you'll have as a student as Valpo is student involvement. So we have over 100 groups on campus. These range anywhere from our social to our academic organizations, fraternity and sorority life. Also, if you want to have any leadership experience, you'll see that there's plenty of opportunities for you to take a part of. And if within one of those groups of our 100 organizations, there isn't an organization that really fits you, the really beautiful part about being in college is you have the freedom to start your own group. So I'm sure 10 years down the road, we'll have over 200 groups on campus. We always want to make sure that our students are being involved in something that they're passionate about. And all you really need is a friend and someone on campus to approve that, and you can definitely be a part of that organization. If you're someone in the room who you've thought about study abroad, this is also another great way for you to be involved. Now, I know that that may look a little different this year, right? But we still want to make sure that our students know of the different opportunities that we have on campus. If we weren't in a pandemic, for example, what would those study abroad opportunities look like? We have study abroad opportunities for each semester, if that's something that you're really interested in, or maybe you're someone that you only want to go for a few weeks. We have some different trips over spring break that also happen, and also in the summer. So really you can make that study abroad experience exactly as long as you want, or if you just want to test out the waters, you can also do that as well. But I would say that a lot of our students on campus, you'll find at Valpo, are involved in not just one, but multiple organizations. And one really nice highlight to that is that you're not on a campus with 50 or 30,000 students where you're constantly having to look at all these different organizations and not really have opportunity to be in one of these leadership positions. Given that we're a smaller campus, you have more access to that. We are also very proud of our service and faith opportunities. As Joel mentioned earlier, we are a Lutheran institution, but our students come from many different backgrounds, religious, faiths, walks of life. So we always like to encourage students to be a part of as much or as little as they want to be a part of. So we do offer 8 ways of worship a week. These are different ways to worship throughout the week when students are in classes, in between classes. We also have a variety of contemporary and traditional services as well as stuff that happens over the weekend. So if you are a student that you are interested in that or learning a little bit more, we definitely want you to be as involved or as little as involved as you would like. We are also an institution that values a lot of our mission trips and serving and giving back. So over spring break, we actually have 2 weeks of spring break at Valpo, and a lot of our students will take a part in some type of mission trip opportunity or something that there's some way of giving back to the community. And that's something that we value a lot on our campus. You also see that we have a Valpo Day of Caring. So in addition to our ways of being supported in our faith life, we want to give back to the community. And our Valpo Day of Caring is a great day that the whole community, Valpo residents, as well as our students on campus come together, and it's a whole day of giving back, service, volunteering, just all around the community, you name it. If there's some type of service or volunteer opportunity that you think would be great for this day, they're probably already doing it. So again, it's a nice way for our students to be able to give back, and it just really brings all of our residents and our students together. The last little section, you'll see our fine arts opportunities on campus. If you're a student that you're thinking about coming onto campus and you have a passion for music, dance, theater, guess what? You can be a student, not necessarily be a major within that program, but still be involved in it in all a variety of music ensembles, different performances that we have. You'll see that we have a lot of ways for our students to be a part of that, even if they're not a major within that department. So one thing that we always like to encourage our students is find your passion. And if you are someone who truly enjoys the arts and music, or maybe you just want to take a class, that's definitely going to be an option here at Valpo. So we are actually a Division I school. Surprisingly, we are a smaller institution, but we are Division I. So what does that mean? Well, that means that we have all of the nice, great excitement that comes in a Division I school. Our students really support our athletes, and you'll be taking classes with them, so they're your peers. So it's like you're cheering on your classmates, you're cheering on your friend. We have that nice, great Valparaiso zone where all of our students sit together. So you get that whole environment of being really supportive of all of the athletic events that we have going on at Valpo. So that's going to be a list of all our Division I teams. A majority of them are going to be in the Missouri Valley Conference. So we're definitely proud of all of our athletic teams and supporting all of our students. Joel, is there anything you would like to add to that?
Well, actually, it'll tie into the next slide. So know that even if you are an athlete, you definitely have opportunities with with intramural and sport clubs as well. But as Lizette talked about just the Valparaiso zone in our Division I program. So on this side, we talk about some of the things that take place, the way we help our students get prepared for life after college. And so just going back to the athletics for a quick moment, all of our home games are actually broadcast on ESPN3. And so who does those broadcasts? Our students. And so it's a great example of one of the experiential learning or hands-on opportunities that our students have. And many of those students, yes, they are our broadcast or our digital media majors, but some of them are just students that, going back to, I like what you said earlier, was that finding your passion. Some of you may have a passion just for, working behind the scenes, working a camera, or, switching, or, being on air, calling a game or something like that. And that might be a way where you contribute to that ESPN experience, get some hands-on learning. And again, it may have nothing to do with your major, just something that you're passionate about. And so in addition to that, of course, we have our Career Center. Valparaiso University, we're very proud that we've had a placement rate. Our placement rate is about 97% right now. And we've had a better than 90% placement rate for more than 20 years, or more than 25 years actually. And so what that means by placement is that it's either our students are going into the workforce after a year and they're finding a job, or they're going into graduate or professional school. So either way, our students are getting placed and they're moving forward. And that's something that we attribute that to a number of things. First of all, the classroom training you're going to get. You're going to be trained well, no matter what major you're pursuing at Valpo. We have our Career Center that will partner along with your college and your major to make sure you're comfortable with your resume writing, your interviewing skills, the host job fairs. And even in this unique time we're in with the pandemic, I believe they hosted a virtual one this past spring. So we're going to still find ways to help our students get trained, get connected, going and so forth. And the number of our majors, and just depending on what type of program you're going into, like last week they were talking about we have a physician assistant program. Our graduates, we were told that a number of them already had job opportunities before they even graduated. So that's the type of thing you're going to find. And I always like to say, at Valparaiso University, yes, we're a smaller school, but we can compete with the big dogs. So if you're looking for that bigger university experience, we've got the Division I athletics, we've got the engineering program, the nursing, the PA program, we've got the hands-on opportunities. And so some majors, that experiential learning, that hands-on is built right there. Engineering is very hands-on, nursing, hands-on. But maybe you're a research person, maybe you're a chemist or a biologist, forensic science. Know that even there, we offer hands-on opportunities. Some of them might be tied into your internship. Others may be tied into undergraduate research. So at our school, you can actually have that undergraduate research opportunity before you even get to grad school. And think of research as just producing new knowledge. So it's not you're just going out and discovering something out there. It's just producing new knowledge, taking on a challenge, finding some answers and producing that. And our students actually, they have 3 opportunities a year to do, we have a research symposium right on campus where students get a chance across all majors to do just that, to discover and present new knowledge. And occasionally that actually goes off campus where they're presenting at other conferences. So if you are a person looking for that hands-on opportunity, you're going to find it here, and it'll be built into your major in any number of ways. So just wanted to let you know. And then outside of even those opportunities, we have, like it's there on the screen, the TEDx. We've actually had students, we had a senior last year present a TEDx talk right there on campus. So if you're looking to even grow that professional network and really just kind of push your limits and see what you're able to do, Valparaiso is going to be one of those places that's going to let you do that. And that's why I love what you said earlier, Lizette, about your passion. Whatever you're passionate about, we're going to help you try to find a way to tap into that passion and apply it, whether it's in your major or just something you like to do for fun. So know that you've got the support of us, the Valpo community, and we're going to just push you and encourage you to grow even beyond that. So moving right along, let's see. Now, I hope that we've at least tickled your fancy, maybe whet your appetite a little bit, and you're thinking, okay, Sounds great. How do I connect with you guys? How do I apply? And it's very easy, actually. You can, like everyone else, go to our homepage, click on apply. That's the first stop. But what I like to highlight about that is a couple of things. First of all, our application is free. I mean, how often do you hear that? Our application is free, and we have our own institutional app, or we may say the Valpo app. And then we have the Common App, of course. So there is no right or wrong which one you want to use. We use them both, and we don't favor one or the other. It's whatever's most convenient for you. I actually encourage my students, if you are applying to multiple schools using the Common App, by all means use the Common App. It's going to be a lot easier on you. But if we're the only Common App school you're applying, by all means use ours. It's probably a little bit faster. So there's value in the Common App, but it does take a little bit of time. So don't do that on the last minute. Put some time out for that. So you want to apply, and I know it sounds silly to say you have to apply, but I've worked in this field for a while. I've had students that have sent me transcripts that were clearly admissible, but I never got application, and so they didn't know they were admissible. So please apply. We are test optional. We went test optional at the end of July. So if you are a student that you did have a chance to take the ACT or SAT, but you aren't in love with that score and you're having trouble getting another testing date, that's fine. Or maybe you're a student that just never had a chance to take one because of COVID, that's fine too. When you apply, you have an option saying, yes, I want to apply test optional, or no. So if you say, yes, I want to apply test optional, that means we're not going to be waiting on your test scores. We're going to base our decision based off of your file, specifically your GPA, the classes you complete, your grade trends. We'll look at the rigor of your curriculum. We'll look at extracurriculars. We'll look at kind of all of you. That is called a holistic review. We're going to look at all of you in that decision. If you say, hey, no, I don't want to apply test optional, I've got scores, or I'm about to get some scores and I want to send it to you, that's fine too. We're still going to apply the holistic review, but we're just going to add in test scores as one other element. So there is no right or wrong. Both our admission review and our scholarship review is truly test optional. So I really don't want you bending over backwards trying to get a test because you think it's going to improve your chances. Just do what you feel most comfortable with. We are rolling admissions. And so what that means is that as we get a completed file, we're going to get your decision back. Now that typically at this time in the fall, when we get, files are coming in daily and review just started reading, you're probably looking at about 4 to 6 weeks. So we do ask you to be a little bit patient, but we will get back to you. And when we get back to you, you'll hear both, are you in or not? And if you're admitted, you're going to hear your scholarship opportunities. And so our scholarships this year are ranging from our academic merit range from about 22,000 up to 27,000. So that's your academic merit. That'll be based off of your grades and other things we talked about before. And then we've added this year what we're calling, or I guess I'm calling them departmental scholarships, but they're really college of scholarships. So if you're in the College of Arts and the College of Business or any of the colleges, you may potentially earn an additional 1,000 up to, I think, about 3,000 a year. So really you're looking at potentially anywhere from 22,000 up to maybe about $30,000 of scholarship money that you can get. And those are just the academic ones. We also offer scholarships for, as Lizette mentioned earlier, we have performance groups. So if you're a singer, a musician, you can actually go through an audition process and potentially earn, if you're a music major, a larger scholarship. If you're a non-music major, you can earn a partial music scholarship, which I believe ranges from about 1,000 to 3,000. And if you were like me, I was in band when I was in college, and hey, I loved it. So when they told me I could get a partial scholarship, I'm like, great. I felt like you were just paying me to be in band. That's not the case, but that's the way I felt, as a college student. So just so you know that opportunity is there. You'll find some, if you are of a Lutheran background, there's some that are there. Or if you're very heavily active in your church, maybe you want to even go make some type of church vocation or tie what you do into the church, make sure you put that stuff down in your application, because there are some others that may tie into your faith or again, that Lutheran background, your major. Just put as much into your application as you can, and we'll find that information that will trigger scholarships. Nice thing about our scholarships at Valpo, they are stackable, meaning you can stack an academic merit on top of a Lutheran, on top of a music, and then maybe even bring in another 10,000 from something you did outside of school. You can stack that on top. We don't take money back. We just keep stacking it. The only thing you can't stack is 2 academic merits. So you can't get the 22,000 academic merit and then say, hey, Joe, give me that 27,000. No, it doesn't work that way. But everything else is stackable. So I just say that to say we do try to make it an affordable option for you. And then our scholarship priority application deadline. So what does that mean? I said you were rolling admission, so we're going to keep getting files and keep going through them. But we do encourage students to apply before November 1st to take full advantage of any of our specialty scholarships. And so if you apply after that, the academic merit will be there, but some of our specialty scholarships will probably be through the admission cycle if you don't apply by November 1st, because they typically start that December and I think it ends about January, February. So please, please, please If you're even thinking about Valpo, apply online before November 1st. And then if you are thinking financial aid, which everybody's in a different place. If you are applying for financial aid, of course, the FAFSA itself is that key that triggers the financial aid. That'll open up. Thank you very much, Lizette. I couldn't remember if we had a slide built in. Thank you. That'll open up on October 1st. So definitely plan to get that done before October 1st. I mean, if you wait till the 2nd or 3rd, you're fine. Just don't drag your feet and do it in April, okay? Just get it done as soon as you can. And just so you know, and I don't know how many parents are listening, but make sure you let your parents know, the FAFSA itself is based off of tax information from 2 years ago. So it'll be based off of your taxes from what year are we in? We don't even know. COVID's messing up. Thank you. So it'll be based off of 2018 tax information. Now, we recognize the pandemic has hit families differently. So if you're saying, hey, my tax information from 2 years ago looks a lot different from what it is right now because of the pandemic, that's fine. We offer what's called a special circumstance form. Just make sure you reach out to your admissions counselor. We'll walk you through that process. But I just want you to know, you don't have to freak out and say that, oh, we're going to give you the wrong financial aid because the tax information is different from what your reality is. Just talk with the admissions counselor. We'll guide you through that process. And again, each one of you has an admissions counselor assigned to you, not just from Valpo, but other schools as well. But in Valpo, you can actually find who your admissions counselor is by going to valpo.edu/meet-your-counselor. Boom. And then you'll find us. We're all assigned by state and high schools, and we're happy to work with you. So we definitely give out not just the merit aids that I talked about, but also need-based aid, institutional aid, which means money from the school itself to you guys. So definitely apply and see just how affordable option we can be for you. Anything I left off, Elizabeth? That was a lot.
No, as we've mentioned, we like to provide that individualized attention to you as students, and with as many schools as you're probably looking at or programs that you're interested in. As Joel mentioned, we do have counselors for each territory, each area. So please reach out to us. We love to get to know our students and help you through this process. And I think you mentioned that we have our application on the Common App and our own application as well. So whatever works best for you. We just want to make sure that we're making this process as simple as possible. But if you do come up with any questions or if there's anything that we can help you with, please reach out to us. We have a variety of online virtual events going on, as well as our on-campus visits that Joel mentioned at the beginning, making sure that not only you're staying safe, but we're staying safe as well with all of the different precautions that are taking place. But if there are anything that we can help you along the process, or you want to know exactly what your award package is going to look like after applying, and that's what we're here for. We're here to help answer your questions and to make, again, this process as simple as possible for you. So this application process shouldn't be as intimidating as you might think. If you are a senior in the room, it only gets more intimidating, I say, if you wait longer. So if you can start submitting your applications now, great, because that allows you to not only meet all of those scholarship deadlines, but also if something's missing or if something we need to follow up with you, that gives us enough time and gives you enough time as well. I do want to talk a little bit about the recommendation letter piece that Joel was talking about. Since we are test optional, we really like to know a little more about our students. And since we are no longer considering any of those test scores this year, I think the recommendation letters and your personal statement can add a big value piece to your application. And that's because we get to know a lot more from your perspective as a student. Tell us about, in your personal statement, about those different activities or community service projects or ways that you've given back or something that you've done a lot throughout high school. Put that in your personal statement piece so we can know more about you as a student. I always like to tell our students, this is a nice way for you to brag about yourself a little bit, right? To tell us what all of these applications that are being submitted, they all look very similar. So what can you add in that personal statement that really helps you stand out? And when it comes to recommendation letters, this is also going to be another great piece. I always recommend 1 to 2 from someone that really knows you or that you trust, and giving them enough time as well. So if you are a senior in the room, start reaching out to your counselor or your teacher now so that they can have enough time to really write down everything that they know about you and that they really will make you stand out as a student as well. So recommendation letters, personal statements, I would say, are going to be very important when it comes to not only the admission process, but also the financial aid merit-based process as well.
Let me piggyback on something you said real quickly there about the brag on yourself. You all are doing some wonderful things for real. But if you don't tell us, we won't know. And so I always encourage my students, when you fill out your application, channel your parent, whichever one would brag, like if we got on the elevator, would just go on about how wonderful you are. That's the parent you want to be when you start filling out your application. You know, face-to-face, you have to be humble. But on paper, brag all day because you're doing wonderful things. If you're president of something, we want to know about it. If you started this program over there, we want to know about it. And let me give you an example of why. I mentioned earlier that in some cases we have some faith-based scholarships. There is nothing on our application that says, you know, there's something that says you check this, you're going to look at that scholarship. We find it because we see a student saying, hey, I'm actively involved in my youth group at church. Hey, I'm doing this over here for the church. And I start seeing a trend where I'm saying, oh, they're doing faith-based church. Then that makes me, as your admissions counselor, because we read your files, by the way, check that box that says, hey, let's contact this student about that scholarship opportunity. So please, because I've seen it too much where students don't tell us the activities they're involved in. That does count. So please don't skip that page. I'm done.
Yeah, so let us know more about you. What can make you stand out from your application? So at this time, we talked a little bit about what we have to offer on campus, what some of our opportunities that our students take a part of. So at this time, we would like to leave it open to any questions that you all may have. We don't have the chat feature for this presentation, but we do have the Q&A. So you should see at the bottom of your screen a little Q&A box. You can actually open that and you should be able to type in your questions and we will be able to see those on our end. But while we wait for those questions, I guess, Joel, do we want to talk a little bit of our favorite part of Valpo? I'll let you go first.
Oh, wow. Seriously, my favorite part of Valpo is the student experience. And what I've said it already, and it may sound like a line, but I truly mean it, that our students are not in a box and they can tap into all that they want to do. And that says something. I was a student when I didn't go to Valpo, but the school I went to, there's a lot of similarities. So just what I mean by tapping into who you are. A student like me, I was a communications major. I loved music. I was in band. I didn't want to major in it. And so at Valpo, you'll be able to do that. But what did that do for me by being able to tap into my interests like that? At my own school, because I see this play at Valpo as well, is that then it expanded. I went from band into choir, into show choir, into theater. And none of these are things that I wanted to major in. I just wanted to do it for fun. And that same thing can play out at Valpo, where you can start out saying, hey, I want to do this. And then you get exposed to that. And Lizette mentioned it earlier. I can get into this leadership opportunity down here. And so there's really great opportunity for you to grow. And I think that's really I wanted you to walk away with. At Valpo, my favorite thing is that you can grow. You will be pushed in a good way to grow into the best you that you can be. I know it sounds like a line, but I'm very serious about that. And because the only way we get a chance to grow is by doing. And so you want that chance to do it, to be that leader, to be that creator. For sure. Was that your favorite thing about Valpo?
Well, I would say I would completely agree with everything that you just said about the on-campus experience. I'm going to switch it up a bit and I'll say that my favorite thing about Valpo would definitely be the food around campus. So as a college student, that's something that I know that's one of the factors y'all look into, and especially me being from I live in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. I just love trying out new food, new places to eat. So I would say our campus is, like I said, walking distance from that Central Park Plaza. There's also a lot of restaurants, boutiques, all of these little local shops, really good coffee if you're a coffee or a tea drinker. So there's many, many different places that you can try. And again, I just think that adds a lot of that piece of you're not just a student on our campus, but you're also part of the community, Valpo community. And you'll see that a lot of our students are supporting all of these local restaurants, coffee shops, and participating in all of these events that go around town. So in addition to being a student on our campus and having that great experience with the different opportunities and faculty members that are supportive, staff as well, I think it's really great. That adds a really great piece to it is just all of the nice live scene off campus as well. So I was going to say that. So we did have a question just come in.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell me about opportunities for study abroad?
Keep the questions coming. Go ahead.
Yeah, keep the questions coming. So I'll start off with this question. So as I mentioned, our study abroad opportunities are going to look a little bit different this year just because we are in the middle of a pandemic right now. So we're not going to have, I would say, the same study abroad experience, at least this semester, that we would have had in the past. But if we would talk about what experiences and opportunities would look like, as I mentioned earlier, we have a few options for you. So you could do a study abroad opportunity that is a whole semester. You wanted to do maybe the fall or the spring. We also have those smaller study abroad opportunities too. If you are someone who you're not necessarily wanting to go away for a whole semester, you can do a study abroad opportunity for a few weeks in the summer. And I know that there's also some that will do some type of study abroad, I believe, over spring break. Do they offer something that they would do something similar to that?
On occasion. I think a lot of them are over the summer.
But most of them, yes, but most of them would be over the summer. So what I'm getting at is you will have a few opportunities to really decide what's going to be the best option for you. And the way that this works is you will actually work with your academic advisor. So depending on the program, the academic major that you are, the college, the academic major that you're in, you will work with an academic advisor to determine how these different study abroad opportunities, how they're going to, how those courses will come back into your degree program. So we aren't just going to send you away to a different study abroad program where these classes aren't going to come back to your degree. They will let you know exactly which programs are available and how those are going to apply towards your degree program. So that's kind of the way that our students will be able to learn about which opportunities are available to them. And then you can decide working from there which is going to be the best study abroad opportunity for you. But like I said, you will have options when it comes to that.
We have a question here. What's housing like, or what's the student experience like on campus? Do you want that or me? Was that? Okay. Yeah, so we are a residential campus, so our students have a 6-semester live-on requirement. So it is a good time for not just building that sense of community, but also helping you to establish yourself being, an adult away from home. The nice thing about living in college is that pseudo-adult world. You're not fully out there by yourself, but you're definitely starting that transition. And so our residence halls, we have the 2 people to a room for the most part, but as you progress up, they'll move into some more apartment and suite style. And then 6 semesters obviously means that first 3 years in school. And then senior year, many of our students do move off campus by that point. And so it is a great sense of community. Our campus is not a, commuter type of campus. I mean, we do have commuter students, but our students do hang around and get involved on the weekends. Of course, like everybody else, Saturday at 10 a.m., they're probably sleeping in, maybe have some breakfast. But, as the afternoon comes along, you start to see the life come to campus. But there is much that can be done right there in the Valpo area, and a great opportunity as far as living on campus. And if you ever want to see any of our residence halls, for sure, you can go to valpo.edu/housing, and you can see pictures of the housing, of the residence halls. You can see the layout. Lizette already talked about the food. The food is good, and we're not just saying that, it really is good. We have to try it out so we can tell you guys about it, but it is good food. So thank you for the question. Housing is vibrant on our campus for sure.
And I know we've mentioned this a few times already, but again, we do just want to make you aware that we do have a lot of different virtual stuff on our website. So while we know it's very difficult to maybe make that campus visit, if you're available to come up to campus, great. We offer a variety of options, but otherwise we do have some great material and some great videos, ways to really see what campus is like virtually. So make sure you check us out online to see not only a virtual tour, but everything else that we have going on campus.
You guys didn't ask this one, but I wanted to throw this one out there just in case. Heaven forbid we're still in a COVID situation a year from now. I wanted you to know how we're handling things on campus, and so that may factor to your college decision. So we are happy to say we are hosting our students on campus. We've been have great fortune. Everyone's safe. We haven't had any outbreaks, so hopefully, knock on wood, wherever you are, that remains true. But I think we're definitely using our size to our advantage. I told you at the beginning, we're about 3,200 students strong, so that easily allows for us to social distance and keep everyone safe. So our students are doing a mixture of classes. Some are online, some are in person, and then some are hybrid. Typically, the online ones are going to be the classes that everybody is taking, like maybe a psychology 101 or something like that, where every major is kind of descending on that one course or two. And so those kind of require an online format. But a lot of the others are going to be the hybrid. So you're in class some days, We're online some days, and then some are completely in class. And so I know that, again, what you're going through, your high school may be different. You may be in person, you may be hybrid, you may be online, but it's nice to know what you may potentially be walking into if next year, heaven forbid, we are still in this place for sure. And that's, again, why we're able to host even our visits now. So if you ever want to size and nail that up, again, you can come for a visit on your own and see firsthand what we're doing to try to keep our students and our families safe. So just thought that should be worth talking about.
And to give you some peace of mind, we actually do have a clinic just right down the street from our university student union. So we do have a full working clinic for our students, for our staff. So if for some reason something does happen or you become ill or you need to go and get something checked out, we have doctors, nurses at our clinic. So many ways for you to make sure that you're being taken care of. And I know that gives a lot of peace of mind to not only you, but your family members as well, especially once it comes to that time if you're not feeling good and if you are far away from home. Well, unless you all have any more questions, this last slide has a few of our social media platforms that we have. So if you would like to follow us on any of our social media platforms, please feel free to do so. We do put some content on there regarding admission, some cool things going on campus, what some of our current students are doing. So feel free to follow us. And then that last one you'll see is ZME is one of our newer platforms that we've joined last year. If you're a student in this room that you submit your application, you can join our Valparaiso University ZME community where you can meet other students who have also been admitted. You can start different groups if you've indicated you're interested in the same academic major. You could start meeting maybe your future roommate. So many ways to start connecting with students just to start that social media Valpo life. So make sure you follow us and let us know if you have any questions through any of those platforms as well.
And not pictured here, definitely take a look at our YouTube page as well. You'll find actually there's a video there. So it's just maybe a week or two old. The first 2 weeks of class, what that looked like this year. You know, of course, it's time lapsed for the fun of it, but then some other ones that tie right to, again, some of the majors. If you want to look at some content from last year, we've had some day in the lives from, well, I guess it was the Instagram takeovers, but they posted it to YouTube as well. So definitely take a look at us as many ways as you need to see if we might be a good fit. And most of all, again, please call, email, text, any of us, our admissions staff, and we look forward to working with you all over this next cycle. And thank you so much for coming out this evening.
Thank you so much for joining us today. We're glad you joined us in our presentation, and we look forward to hearing from you soon.
Thank you so much for joining us this evening. When you close the window, there will be a link to a very quick 4-question survey. We'd appreciate any feedback that you can provide. Also, this was, again, just one of many sessions being hosted, so be sure to sign up for additional sessions at moacac.org. And in about a week, you'll be able to find this session's recording as well as all of the other sessions recordings at moacac.org. Thanks so much and have a great evening.